Hello, Gizmos, and welcome back to another episode of the Drayton Town Career Mode. So this one's just a little bit different. This is just a halfway wave sort of review of the season and how things are going. As you would have noticed, I didn't include December's table and goal scoring stats of the players because I thought I'd just do it in there. Otherwise, I wouldn't have much to talk about in fairness, and I'd lose sort of quite a lot of minutes sort of making it, and nothing would change because this is literally straight after I have done sort of December's episode and the month and the games we've played. So I thought I'd just get it into this one and just include it in here. So as you can see, our next game is I guess it's the Bristol Street Motors Trophy now, as it's called, the EFL Trophy. Obviously, we finished top in our group. We have Peterborough at home. We actually have two home games in a row in January. We have this and then the FA Cup, both at home, so good chance for us to get through, even though this game against Peterborough will be tough. Peterborough are a very good side. So never know what can happen. A couple of other decent little sort of games to watch out for to see who goes through. We've got Salford in our league that are doing quite well. Obviously, Pompey in there. Stockport, Reading, Blackpool's a good game. Leyton Orient, Oxford. Wrexham, I suppose, is another team in there. And probably, I guess, really Bolton, Derby and Charlton ones to watch out for. In terms of the FA Cup, we have Barrow at home. Nothing really special. Couple of other big sort of ties that we could have had. Sort of teams that I really wanted. But we didn't get, so it is what it is, and we sort of move on. In terms of the League 2 table and where we left off, obviously you didn't see it in December, but we are top of the league, but only 3 points clear of second place MK Dons, who are absolutely having a fantastic season. Of course, Stockport and Wrexham got promoted in real life, and MK Dons are in the playoffs, so almost at top, and I think Barrow are up there as well. And this included me, so probably 5 of the 7 teams there are all realistic in terms of that. We've actually only lost 2 games all season. We're on an unbeaten run of 15 games and 11 in the league, which is not too bad. It's good. A lot of them are draws. There's only a fair few wins in there, so it makes a big difference in terms of how far we were away with the top of the table, and now how close it's sort of getting, especially towards sort of 6th place. A couple of slip-ups here and there, and anything sort of can happen and change. Mid-table, I expected Mansfield to be a little bit higher. Of course, Doncaster got into there as well. Wimbledon, I expected to be higher. Few other teams towards the bottom, Crawley and Swindon, rock bottom of the league, completely adrift. So many points out of it that you'd think that their season is pretty much already over. In terms of them two would actually go down. Newport, Grimsby, and Colchester, of course, all down there in real life. So a mixed sort of feelings in our sort of table, but very interesting up the top. So hopefully that will change as the sort of months go on. In terms of the squad hub, the goals and everything that's going in, a lot of goals that we are scoring, but also conceding a lot. In terms of clean sheets, Sov actually only has 6 now, so half 50% of his clean sheets that he has got 6 out of 12 appearances he's made. And expected Sov to get a little bit more, but it's fine. He still has obviously the rest of the half of the season to continue. Ian doing really well, 9 clean sheets out of 14. That's quite high in terms of that. And of course, Alfie now has 2 home games to keep 2 more clean sheets, and hopefully he does that as well. I'm just going to go down the list in terms of like the goals and assists and clean sheets for each player. I'm not going to go from top to bottom who's leading the way. I'll just go down the list. So Morgan come into more because obviously Ryan got suspended for 3 games. So Morgan actually stepped in, played really well. A couple of clean sheets as well for him, especially in the league. So really happy that he kept them. Chris only has 1 goal. Come close to actually scoring a fair few more, but doing quite well. And especially defensively with Dan, both have 14 clean sheets each. Dan, of course, who hit the crossbar in one of the last games, almost scored his first goal of the season, has more assists actually than Chris. But yeah, defensively, them two are solid as a pair. Jaden playing quite well in the cups, making a couple of contributions in League 2 as well. That's why the squad rotation is very important. Ian, of course, a bench player going to get used, will be played in the next 2 games, so hopefully he has a chance to impress. Novio, 13 clean sheets, solid right back, playing really well. Chance to score a fair few goals, but hopefully he does. Dean, first season again, probably be playing in the next 2 games, but he's defensively really strong. Again, 50% clean sheets that he's kept. Dave obviously scored 1 goal that he got in a massive Carabao Cup win, doing quite well as a centre defensive midfielder. I got an assist and a fair few clean sheets for him as well. Paul, I guess you would say that you would expect better. Same as Tommy, the goals are low, which is fine. They've chipped in with a few assists, 5 contributions between them both for the goals, 6 for assists, which is not too bad. You can't really argue with that. But I guess for more importantly, their defensive record, very impressive. 13 clean sheets for Paul, 15 for Clem. Very good sort of numbers in that respect. So yeah, very impressed with them. Alfie again made a lot of appearances, actually, especially in and off the bench. No goals, no assists, but kept 2 clean sheets. So hopefully his season improves. Tony, again, a bench player, has actually scored and got 1 assist and 3 clean sheets. So for the stats, in terms of his appearance, has done quite well. But again, got 2 more games coming up where he can make a difference as well. Myself chipped in with a lot of goals, 11 goals this season, only 4 assists. And as a winger, that's kind of bad. But I guess the crossing in this game is not overly fantastic unless you're playing sort of ultimate team and clubs. I don't think the crossing in career mode it is as good, but in terms of the numbers, really happy with them. And 15 clean sheets. Jax with 5 across the board, 3 clean sheets as well. Great numbers for him. Scored a couple of bangers as well and playing quite well. Tyler came in because obviously Neil is injured, which is really gutted for him. He's still out for another couple of months, but Tyler stepped in. He scored a couple of screamers in and off the bench, and when he's played, he's done quite well as well. So 6 goals for Tyler, 3 assists, 4 clean sheets. Neil, 5 goals, 4 assists, and 12 clean sheets. Clean sheet numbers are really high, but in terms of goals and assists, it is low. And yes, he is out injured at the moment, but he has been injured for a month, and he's still got 2 more months. We won't see him till March, which is a shame. Quite a lot of the season. They played 26 games. The numbers are not great, but the contributions of the 5 goals and 4 assists have probably won us around about 10 to 15 points, I would say. So it is a massive contribution. Same again for Sam, 5 goals, a couple of screamer goals as well, 4 assists. The cross that he got was actually peach, and it was the first cross that I've actually seen work in this game where he set up Tyler. High clean sheets number as well. Kian got his first goal, of course, that he scored in the FA Cup game in a 7-0 thumping with Crawley Town, of course, who are bottom of the league. 2 assists as well, 2 clean sheets. Mikey, the main man, of course, in this sort of team, scores a lot of goals. It's what he does. He could have probably had more, closer to 20, if we're being honest. A couple of chances that you would think he would put away, but unfortunately he hasn't. But it doesn't matter. 12 assists as well. 14 clean sheets. And in Ocean, of course, he is like the little cup genius, always scores in the cup. He's like a volume 2 of Mikey, if you will, especially in terms of the goal scoring. I'm very happy that he does that, but he always scores. And then Robbie, for his first season, look at the appearances, 11 appearances and 9 goals. That is so good in terms of the stats and the percentages. Really impressed with that. 6 clean sheets as well. And of course, it does make a massive difference. He's obviously played a lot in and around the cup games as well. So very high stats, very good stats. There's a couple of people, if I did sort it out in order, of course, there's a couple of people here that have been close to goals. These 2 have been close to goals. But yeah, there's a few players that would love to get on the score sheet. Morgan nearly scored as well with a screamer that he had. So kind of hoping that it would get there. In terms of Neil's injury, I think it says on this one, he is fit in 2 months. He's got a broken toe. Wouldn't think he'll be out for that long with a broken toe, but unfortunately he is. But hopefully we'll have him back soon. In terms of financial, not really bothered. A couple of people done their bonuses, but for some reason it's not really showing up. In terms of that, like Sov's kept his clean sheets. I do have a list of who has got what sort of bonuses and stuff like that, but I will get towards that, I guess, towards the end of the season. I might do that around March time and sort of do a towards the end of the season review. But yeah, a lot of people have done them, but they're probably appearances and a couple of goals as well. So that's absolutely fine. Nothing much really to report other than that. We're playing really well. We've got some decent football going on. We've got a lot of games coming up in terms of the calendar, as you can see. Stockport away was our last defeat of the season. Of course, we lost in the cup as well. So Blackburn, which was really gutted. But yeah, really going back from probably that was the start of the season. So Salford we lost there, and then when I guess in terms of unbeaten, we went to Blackburn, so we had like a 6-game unbeaten run, which is not too bad. I suppose if you take it from Blackburn, it's 1, 2, 3, and then yes, so Stockport. So from Stockport all the way through to here now where we are, it's about 15 games unbeaten. But if you want to really include everything there, as you can see, there's a win. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 draws there, so almost half of our unbeaten run is draws, which is good. It is unbeaten, and you remain unbeaten, which is absolutely fine. But if it was wins, it's obviously better. Just a little sneak preview of the month: 2 cup games, followed by 3 league games. So will be interesting to see what happens. Looking forward to sort of getting through further in the cup. I've had a look at February. I don't really want to look too far ahead into the fixtures who we've got, but February will be tough. There is a couple of games in there that will maybe determine if we're going to be playoffs or top 3. Where we are in terms of the league, I kind of want to stay where we are and just get that top 3, because otherwise it will be the playoffs. Nothing really much to report in club news. Sam, really happy that he's starting for Drayton and doing really well. He's enjoying his football, as he says. Obviously, Neil's injury there with a broken toe that he had. We didn't really get much in terms of that. Mikey got shortlisted for Player of the Month. We've had a couple of short players, but I don't think we've actually won any Player of the Months in that respect. So, yeah, we keep winning. We're on a total charge, but there's a long way to go and a lot of things can happen. But yeah, that is the halfway season review, guys. Let me know in the comments how we think we're going to get on towards the second half of the season. Let me know what players are going to hit what bonus. I'm really interested to know what you guys think. And yeah, we'll push on from there. We've got Peterborough next. It's going to be a tough game. They've got some really decent little players. Be a shame if we do go out, but you know, this is probably the best chance that we got to get to Wembley once you get into the FA Cup later stages. We got lucky with Barrow at home, so if you take into consideration that we've got the 4th round, 5th round, and you could get a Premier League team, and you could say then goodbye to sort of your chances. So yeah, hopefully we'll get through the 3rd round, get a big team, have a lot of money into the club and stuff like that. So really happy with the way that's going with the season so far. Really happy you guys are here watching it with me as well. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, comment as well. All feedback is appreciated. So without any sort of further ado, guys, really appreciate you being here, and I will speak to you all for the end of January's episode. Thank you.